Hi everyone, welcome to YourPedia. This is Chandrasekhar, Faculty of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at YourPedia. This video is regarding IB ACIO technical interview preparation. Not just the interview in IB ACIO, in fact in IB JIO, there is another Junior Intelligence Officer JIO. In these two, there is one thing called a practical I can say practical test. What is practical test and what is interview? What kind of questions will be asked in practical test and what practical test you have to perform over there in the branch of electronics and communication engineering I am going to discuss here. See, you are from electronics engineering or computer science, typically there will be 3 rows. Suppose if you go for practical test, I am talking about practical test first. Yes, practical test. In practical test, see, this is row 1, yes, this is row 2 and this is row 3, yeah. See, need not to be in the same sequence, the rows need not to be in the same sequence, there may be in different sequence, but there will be 3 rows in the practical test. That is, here they will keep some computer related equipments and cables. They will ask you to recognize the cables and connect the computer, and they will ask you to make the computer to work. Computer may be in dismantle manner, not completely but partially it may be in the dismantle manner. You have to connect all the components or equipments of computer. Yes, here computer related equipments will be there. Computer related equipments will be there. You have to recognize the cables like how to connect the keyboard and how to connect internet cable to that, okay, and how to connect mouse, how to connect HDMI cable, okay. Sometimes they may ask to insert the RAM may be outside of the CPU and they will ask you to recognize the RAM slot and you must put the RAM into the, I can say, into the relevant slot, right? So that is one must have very good knowledge regarding computer, I can say, dismantling and again configuration, okay, configure all the equipments of computer. That is one row. Second row is related to electronic components. Yes, electronic components, that is in your electronic laboratory you did a lot of experiments on breadboard using diodes, I can say transistors, and you connected on breadboard and you might saw all these I can say results on one screen, right? So about regarding that, how to connect all these equipments to that, how to measure, how to increase the size of the waveform, okay, how to decrease it, oscilloscope, all those related things will be there here. DC supply, okay, in DC supply there will be a separate DC supply in the laboratory, how to connect to that, related to electronic components and its connection, and they may ask you to do some experiment, like suppose they will give one BJT and related equipments and they may ask you to perform some amplification process, okay, a simple experiment, lab experiment, and color coding of resistances. There will be a lot of resistances, depending on the color coding you have to pick one resistance. Suppose if he may ask 11 kilo ohm resistance, directly 11 kilo ohm may not be available. You must take different resistance values and connect in series or parallel on the relevant combination, right? And multimeter is one of the very important meter during this electronic components recognition and connection, right? And third is electrical. So electrical laboratory, all electronic students might attended electrical laboratory. In the electrical laboratory you might saw voltmeters, ammeters and wattmeters. Yes, voltmeter, yes, voltmeters, ammeters and wattmeters and rheostats, and what rheostats also you might work with, right? Yes, you might work with the rheostats also, right? So these things you must recognize, and how to connect voltmeter, how to connect ammeter, okay. Voltmeter must be connected in parallel or in shunt, ammeter must be connected in series, and for what purpose, what range of voltmeter or ammeter you have to select, and how to see the reading, okay. There will be some errors like parallax errors, okay, how to observe the reading, okay. Those things are very, very important. So total 3 rows in the practical test of IB AICO or IB JIO. Okay, in both practical test and technical interview, both are there. Okay, you must have good knowledge in computer related equipments and their connection and disconnection. Okay, configuring and I can say dismantling. And here next one is electronic components. You must have thorough knowledge how to connect. I can say a lot of suppose there is a capacitor and there is resistance and a BJT. Configure all these things on breadboard, how to create common ground on breadboard, how to connect all these breadboard equipments to oscilloscope where you are going to see all these results, and how to connect DC supply. So more or less I can say your EDC and analog electronics laboratory, you might study the EDC in your bachelor's. So you must be thorough with all the experiments of your EDC subject and analog subject, right? The third thing is electrical laboratory. Here they may not ask you to conduct any experiment, but which one is voltmeter, ammeter, wattmeter, for measuring this much voltage, which voltmeter will you pick, how to connect the voltmeter, how to connect the ammeter. Okay, these kind of questions are definitely will be asked in practical examination or practical test of IBAICO. Yes, the same kind of thing was happened in IBJIO also last year. YourPedia given a very good guidance for the students who were preparing for IBJIO. So the test pattern or the interview pattern of IBAICO is almost same as that of IBJIO, right? So after this interview will be there. The students of electronics and communication engineering, you know, the very important subjects are communication, analog electronics, digital electronics. Mainly digital is also very important these days. Okay, the world is getting digitalized. One must have very good knowledge in digital electronics and computer related stuff. And if they want to test, they can test your network analysis basics and your control system basics also they will test. So having good idea on electronics and communication engineering subjects is one thing. Second thing is how to conduct the experiment. Here you must conduct the experiment. Yes, they may ask you to conduct one simple experiment by giving all the relevant equipments to you. And computer related, yes, you must be in a position to configure and dismantle the entire computer. Okay, learn that one, that is very important. Then recognizing all electrical equipments, that is also very important, right? See, if you have any queries related to this practical test, you can approach us. Yes, this is my contact number. You can approach me if you have any doubts related to your practical test or interview in the branch of electronics and communication engineering. Sorry, not electrical, electronics and communication engineering, right? Thank you.